as if Frank Lampard's building something special there. They'd go top above Spurs and Liverpool, who both play tomorrow, if they win. And of course Everton, the wheels have come off a little bit for them after their brilliant start.
Yeah, the wheels have completely fell off. I think all four wheels have gone for Everton, but I'm hearing that they've got some injuries as well this game, so I feel like this is a game where Chelsea bats at Everton. I can see just being a 4-1, 3-0 sort of result, because Chelsea are flying. Giroud's hit great form, and I'm sure he'll score today, and Chelsea want to keep winning games and just trying to keep in that title race, and Everton are a bit reliant on Calvert-Lewin's goals, and there's not many goals coming elsewhere, so I think it's going to be another struggle for Everton tonight.
Yeah, 5 games tomorrow. Southampton are at home to the bottom club Sheffield United, who will simply have to start winning soon, or all will be lost. Then the leaders, as it stands today, Tottenham Hotspur, feature in a London derby at Crystal Palace. I'll be watching Fulham against Liverpool from Craven Cottage, a top v bottom clash there, with Fulham at the moment just above the bottom 3, and Liverpool hoping no doubt that Tottenham slip up so they can regain the top spot. Then it's Arsenal, who are down in 15th place at home to relegation threatened Burnley. I've got an Arsenal mate who I was winding up yesterday, so he asked me if I was doing the game. I said no, unfortunately I'm not doing that relegation. 6 points between Arsenal and Burnley.
I think this is not the game you want as an Arsenal player.
No,
because Burnley, don't be fooled, they're a well organised side who will play their formation and make it difficult for Arsenal, so this is not going to be an easy game for Arsenal to get that important win.
Yeah, they need to win that. Leicester against Brighton wraps it all up for the weekend's action. Ahead of us in the West Midlands, it's Wolves against Villa in a big derby. Let's hear from the two managers, Nuno Espirito Santo of Wolves and Villa's Dean Smith.
Difficult game, very good team, a difficult game, a game that requires from us consistency through the actions, being unit, compact, and taking advantage when we have the ball with the talent players that we have playing and having good possessions, unbalanced Villa. We expect a very tough game, but for sure a very enthusiastic game. Is a derby, so they're always special.
They've been probably the team that has got promoted that everybody's looking at to try and emulate. You know, they've lost some big players, obviously Jota going to Liverpool. He's showing now at Liverpool what a very good player he was, and Jimenez with the unfortunate head injury. You know, so they've lost 2 key players, but they're a very good team with some very good players.
We live for everybody involved that was aware of the situation, to see him, how bad it was, the situation that happened, and to see him yesterday again smiling, and it was a big lift for everybody. Of course, for the teammates, huge lift, because they see someone that had a serious situations recovering, and seeing that he's on his way back to be the same person that he was.
It's a game against a team that we're well aware of because of the distance, but having no fans there takes that, probably the juice away from being a local derby. Sure, it'll be the same in a few weeks against West Bromwich Albion as well. And unfortunately, not having supporters there is what takes that enjoyment out of these local derbies.
Well, there was mention there of Raul Jimenez. It was an awful injury against Arsenal. The good news is that he's recovered from his fractured skull. He left hospital this week, and on Thursday he visited the Wolverhampton Wanderers players at their training ground. There's a huge banner, Gabby, in Molineux, where the fans have whipped up money to produce an amazing mural of him, and there's a plane flying overhead at the moment with a get well soon sign, so that shows how popular Raul Jimenez is and how much he's going to be missed.
Yeah, he's a massive player, isn't he? And I think Wolves have relied on a lot of his goals over the last few seasons, and it's going to be a huge miss. And the player that's coming from, Fabio Silva, is a young lad he's got a lot of pressure on his shoulders today because it won't be easy, but yeah, he's been a massive player for them, and I'm sure they'll be so excited for him to come back. But as we've seen in the pictures, you know, he looks healthy, he looks fine. That's the biggest thing. Football comes second. It's all about your health, and everyone's happy that Jimenez is fully okay.
Yeah, absolutely right. What about Villa's youngster, Jacob Ramsey? It's his Premier League debut today. He's made 3 appearances in the League Cup. What do you know about him?
Yeah, I watched him in the Carabao Cup this season. I was really impressed, and I think it was a matter of time before he got his chance. And I really like Dean Smith, the way he's given him his chance today. There's so many other players he could have played, but he thought to himself, you know what, let me give him a go. And we're not seeing what he's seen in training. We're not seeing the under-23 games where he's playing. So Dean Smith must be really excited to see him play today. And yes, it's going to be a tough game, but you look at that Wolves midfield today with Dendoncker and Moutinho in there. If he can get around Moutinho, and I'm sure he can have a good game.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll be looking forward to it. A little bit nervous, I would imagine. Jacob Ramsey, big day for him, 19 years old. So the scene is set at Molineux on a bright but cold afternoon in the West Midlands. It's coming up live. You're listening to Premier League Live.
The Premier League Live.
Oh, what a goal!
With TalkSport.
Demanding a high performance from your team? You should be demanding the same from your tyres. The Irish Tyre Industry Association is urging motorists to stay safe this winter and check the condition of your tyres. You could even be liable for a fine and 2 penalty points if found driving with tyres below the legal tread depth limit of 1.6 millimetres. ITIA expert technicians will carry out a free tyre safety check to ensure your tyres are safe and legal. Visit itia.ie to find your local expert.
As Ireland's homegrown insurer, FPD knows it's empowering when someone has your back. So switch your van insurance to us and get up to 75% no-claim discount. Visit fpd.ie to request a quote. FPD Insurance. Support. It's what we do. Terms, conditions and underwriting criteria apply. 75% no-claims discount is based on proof of 5 years no-claims discount and available to new commercial motor customers only. FPD Insurance Group Limited, trading as FPD Insurance, is regulated by the Central Bank of Ireland. Commercial motor insurance is underwritten by FPD Insurance plc.
What will you really gain from using anabolic steroids? Using illegal anabolic steroids can lead to nasty and serious side effects, both physical and psychological. Heart failure, infertility, hair loss, acne, mood swings, increased aggression. Don't lose out to steroid gains. Know the risks. Visit zerogains.ie. A message from the Health Products Regulatory Authority.
Get ready and hold on tight, because the Premier League is here! Which teams will stay on track? And who'll go off the rail? Get the Irish Sun for top transfer news, exclusive star interviews and opinions from the biggest names in football. Plus expert analysis of every action-packed match in our fantastic goals pull-out each weekend. Stay up to speed, because you never know what the Premier League is going to throw up. Pick up the Irish Sun today.
Introducing Guardson Sport. Protect your sporting equipment from COVID-19 for up to 14 days with Guardson Sport Disinfectant Treatment. Ideal in team sports settings with the sharing of balls, rackets, gloves, helmets, and all other sporting equipment. Guardson Sport kills COVID-19 on impact, keeping surfaces free from COVID-19 and other viruses and bacteria for up to 14 days by creating a protective polymer layer on application. For more information on Guardson Sport and other quality assured, certified and approved PPE, visit yourcovidprotection.com.
At Paddy Power, we know competition for the remote control can be fierce at the weekends. So in order to give the non-football loving occupants of your house something to do, here are some of our top suggestions. Go for a walk the dog, go cycling, cycle the dog, recycle the dog, just go! All very good options, we say. And that's not the only one. If one leg of your 4+ fold ACCA lets you down, get a free bet on all football leagues and markets. Paddy Power. Max free bet €10. Min odds 1 to 5 on each leg. Online exclusive. Exclude shop bets. T's and C's apply. 18 plus. Need help? Visit gamblingcare.ie.
The Premier League Live.
Here's the shot away! Goal!
With TalkSport.
You're listening to TalkSport's coverage of Wolverhampton Wanderers against Aston Villa from Molineux. I'm your host, John Anderson. Alongside me is the former Aston Villa and England striker, Gabby Agbonlahor. This is Premier League Live. As I mentioned at the top, they've been playing each other in the league since 1888. Would you believe, though, they played each other in the FA Cup 2 years before that. They were both founder members of the Football League. and they met on the very first Saturday that this incredible competition started almost 133 years ago. It's the 129th meeting between Wolverhampton Wanderers and Aston Villa, and it finds both clubs currently in mid-table. Wolves heavily beaten last time out at Liverpool. Aston Villa, after winning their first 4 matches of the season, have only won 1 since and lost the other 4 of those 5. They played fewer games than everyone else. They started a week late at the beginning of the season, and of course their last scheduled match against Newcastle United was postponed due to COVID, so they haven't played for 12 days since they were defeated by West Ham. Aston Villa, 2 teams being introduced, but not to anyone in particular, as Molineux, which would normally be an absolute frenzy as these 2 great rivals meet, is strangely silent, but for the music lilting. Who's made the leap up from the Championship very successfully from his great campaign last season with Brentford. The Wolves, and we know that from his appearances with England recently, where senior players were surprised and pleased at how much encouragement he offered on the field. They're getting their last instructions from him, while Aston Villa line up ready for the referee, who is Mike Dean today, the most experienced referee in the Premier League. He's shown 102 red cards in his long career. Hopefully we won't see any today. Hopefully we won't see too much VAR today either. Just a cracking match between 2 teams who know all about each other. Villa Park is just about 12 miles south of here. Dean Smith, the Villa boss, chewing heavily, is a lifelong Villa supporter. Wolves, well, with their Portuguese contingent led by Nuno Espirito Santo, as Dean Smith was saying, have set the benchmark really for promoted clubs coming up and maintaining strong positions in the Premier League. The players just take the knee before the referee gets us underway for the start of this game. The first of 4 today in the Premier League. Wolves are wearing old gold and black. Don't call it orange, don't call it yellow. It is old gold, and Villa, of course, are wearing claret and blue. Which way's the derby going to go, Gabby?
I've got to stick with my team, Aston Villa, haven't I? But I'm just excited because the way both teams are playing, it's going to be a 4-3-3 from both teams, and Grealish especially has been having to play against teams that have had a lot of defenders. Now he's going to be playing hopefully one-on-one with Semedo, and he'll have his time to do his stuff.
Let me take you through the 2 teams. Wolves have Rui Patricio in goal, a back 4 of Nelson Semedo, Connor Cody, Roman Saiz back to replace Willy Bowley and Marçal. Then we have Adama Traore, Leandro Dendoncker and João Moutinho, the front 3, Pedro Neto, Daniel Podence and Fabio Silva, who is making his first Premier League start today. First cross of the day into the box. They would have loved to have had Raúl Jiménez, Adama Traore, Leandro Dendoncker and João Moutinho, the front 3, Pedro Neto, Daniel Podence and Fabio Silva, who is making his first Premier League start. Podence and Fabio Silva, who is making his first Premier League start today. First cross of the day into the box. They would have loved to have had Raúl Jiménez on the end of that one, Wolverhampton Wanderers, but it was the slightly slighter figure of Fabio's corner's been taken short, and this is potentially a training ground move by Wolves. It's knocked into the box, and it's a very, very good defensive header indeed for Aston Villa to get the ball away potentially from Connor Cody.
Yeah, it's a great header there from Conser. That's what you want from your centre-halves. Be the one that gets the header in there, and it's a perfect header from him, and a dangerous set piece from Wolves.
Yeah, it was a good clearing header. Jacob Ramsey was underneath it as well. The player making his debut today for Aston Villa, joined the club at the age of 6, like you, Gabby. He's a a local boy. Hopefully, like you, he can be a local boy made good.
Yeah, and I think like it's a perfect age, you know, if you can do something amazing today and score in a local derby at the age of 19, you know, how proud would you be? And I'm just happy to see Aston Villa continuing giving young players a chance, and I'm really happy that Dean Smith's done it.
Absolutely. Ramsey scored actually for England under-20s on his debut against Wales in October, and this is his Premier League debut. Here come Villa with Matt Targett playing the ball infield. The sun shining down, shadows on the pitch. Wolves making a bit of a meal of getting the ball clear, but that's a good ball by Cody to Traore, and well, that was an important intervention on him by Villa from Douglas Luiz. Traore is going to be a threat, isn't it?
Yeah, I remember him at Aston Villa when I was there. It's incredible, his talent, the way he can sprint with the ball, and he just runs past you, and honestly sometimes you think that like he could even do an American football job because he's that athletic and he's so strong, and you can't be left with one-on-one against anyone.
Yeah, he's certainly going to be eager to do well against his former club. He only made 10 appearances for Aston Villa. We've of course got a Traore on each team, Adama Traore, who is Spanish for Wolverhampton Wanderers, and Bertrand Traore, who plays for Burkina Faso in Africa. Actually made his debut, would you believe, at international level at the age of 15, Bertrand Traore. Here's Jack Grealish on the ball for Villa, who, like Traore, will be a key figure. The ball is played rather aimlessly square, though, by Traore, who's sporting long braids on his hair. Here's Concert for Villa, going backwards at the moment, but unwilling to concede a throw, and finding the ball back to Matty Cash, and eventually it's nodded back by Luis to goalkeeper Emiliano Martinez, who's making his 10th appearance of the season, his 10th consecutive start in the Premier League. Tom Heaton still unavailable for Aston Villa. Here's Ollie Watkins on halfway for the visitors, finding Luis, whose first touch was heavy. The ball was nicked away by Joao Moutinho, but in the eyes of Mike Dean, it was done so unfairly. So Aston Villa will have a free kick virtually on the centre spot, and a chance to build again. Tyrone Mings, the England international defender, finds Ezri Concert. Now it's Traore, just laying it off out wide to Cash, and back again to Tyrone Mings, just inside his own half. Matt Targett clips it down the line. It's a useful looking ball, and McGinn's trying to get onto it but can't. Then Donka is in the way, but the Belgian has stuck out a foot, and Villa have an early corner. 5 minutes gone.
I like that run from McGinn there. You know, centre midfielders sometimes want to always get it to feet. Them runs there were the perfect Gareth Barry runs when he was at Aston Villa. Made that third man run, and on another day there he gets in behind and gets across him, but very good run from McGinn, and he wins the corner.
First corner of Villa's afternoon will be taken by Jack Grealish. It's going to be an in-swinger from the right-footed England international, and it's flicked away by Dendonka, and it goes out of play right by the corner flag. It's to Aston Villa, and Bertrand Traore is walking away from it, and coming up to take the throw-in is Matty Cash. Cash is going to have to be careful this afternoon. He's picked up 4 bookings this season. If he gets another, he will miss Villa's next game, which is against Burnley. 6 minutes gone, 0-0. But here's Cash with the ball in. It's scraped away by Roman Saiz, the Moroccan, who was on the bench last time out for Wolves at Liverpool, but didn't come on. So this is his first game since he had a couple of games out with a COVID positive. Bertrand Traore can't get on the ball for Aston Villa. It rolls out of play and behind for a goal kick. How much will the absence of action for Villa have affected them? Because everyone else has been in action last weekend and they had to miss out.
I think it's a good thing though, you know, they've had a rest. They should be the fresher team coming into this game with 2 weeks since their last game, so I think it can only be a positive.
Get in touch with us on Twitter if you want to have your say at TalkSport Live. Tell us where you're listening and what you'd like to discuss. Here's McGinn for Villa. Back to Tyrone Mings. That win at Arsenal, splendid though it was Villa's only victory in the last 5 Premier League games after they'd started so well. As I mentioned, they have played fewer games than anyone else. Here's Concert. Across the defence it goes into a bright patch of sunlight on the near side. Tyrone Mings drives it down the line again. It's another good run by McGinn and an excellent piece of control. He's got away from his man too. That was almost perfect, Gabby, until Saiz scraped it away. Great play by McGinn.
Great ball for Mings. And once again, a great run from McGinn, and he keeps making them runs. I'm sure he continues to do it because it's a massive threat.
Corner again to Aston Villa. It's taken short this time by Grealish, who's trying to scamper towards the edge of the penalty area under pressure. No one fouled more than him in the Premier League this year. He's got it again. It's a clever cut back to Traore, whose touch was poor, and it allowed Wolverhampton Wanderers to get the ball away via Nelson Semedo. That was wasteful, wasn't it, by Traore, because if he'd have controlled that properly, he might have been in there. As it is, they're still coming forward, Villa. It's Ollie Watkins. Hat-trick hero against Liverpool in that incredible game that they won 7-2. Playing nicely in and around the final third, Villa. Here's Concert, and the ball in is by Cash. It's headed away strongly by Connor Cody, and it's all Villa at the moment.
Yeah, they're getting some good possession and getting crosses in, but you need Watkins in the box. Some of these crosses are coming in, and he's the one crossing them or involved with the crossing setup, so he needs to stay in the box and let the others get the crosses in.
Here's Tyrone Mings in the centre circle, finding Grealish. Back to Mings again. Both England internationals these days. Grealish once more. He's fouled. I think I read somewhere last season he was fouled 167 times, Jack Grealish, in 38 games. Here's ball forward, which is intercepted for Wolverhampton Wanderers by Podence, who clips it to this near post. This is Semedo, who got an unfortunate own goal against Liverpool in that 4-0 defeat last week. He's on the overlap now, looking potentially for a return pass from Pedro Neto, who gets it back to João Moutinho. So many Portuguese players in this Wolverhampton Wanderers lineup. Good ball out wide by Saiz. In comes the cross, and it was Marçal's delivery from out wide on the left, but too close to Emiliano Martinez.
I like that though from Martinez. You know, he's given Concert a big shout there, and he's left it. That's a good relationship to have with your keeper and your centre halves.
I felt a little sorry for Martinez at Arsenal because he came in and played really, really well for them last season in Bernd Leno's absence, but clearly Arteta felt that he was always going to be number 2, and you can't blame him, can you, for moving clubs. And all right, I know Tom Heaton's injured, but he's played well for Villa so far.
Yeah, he's done very well, but I'm watching this now. Mike Dean's back to his usual tricks. I mean, McGinn gets fouled, he wins the ball back, and he gives a foul for Wolves. I think Mike Dean started after 10 minutes.
He's not your favourite referee, it's fair to say.
No, some of his decisions are honestly they're crazy.
Anyway,
let's hope he gets better.
Yeah. Well, here's Grealish climbing and trying to win the ball. It's gone out of play. It's going to be a throw to, I think, who's it going to be a throw to? Grealish is saying it should be Villa's. The referee is blowing on his whistle. I think it is going to go Villa's way. The throw in. 11 minutes played. Goalless in this one. After this, we've got Newcastle against West Brom. The Baggies, of course, are even more than Villa. Wolverhampton Wanderers, really traditional arch rivals. I'm sure Wolves fans will be very happy to see West Brom where they are at the moment. Now the ball into the box, well defended by Roman Saiz under some pressure from McGinn, who started the game really well. And then eventually it's cleared by Wolves up towards Neto, and he's got away down the right hand side here potentially. Pedro Neto has a look up, there's not too much to aim at. Martinez had to come, and under some pressure from Daniel Podence, Emiliano Martinez threw himself at the ball and has picked up an injury. A little bit sluggish there from Villa at the back. It looked initially as if there wasn't much on, and then Podence seemed to saunter into the area without too many Villa players reacting.
Yeah, I think it was a bit too casual for Mings, and and he gets caught out. But if you look on the far side on the replay, we can see Matty Cash gets took out, so I'm sure the goal wouldn't have been given anyway.
Yeah, he definitely went sprawling over.
But you look at this on Podence, it's dangerous play. The keeper's always favourite, and then he leaves his foot on the keeper, and looks like Martinez is injured.
It's called a bang on the ear. I think he's going to be okay, but we have the physios on just to tend to him. Little break here, 12 and a half minutes gone. Nuno Espirito Santo walks back to his dugout. He's been an absolute hero for Wolverhampton Wanderers. Took them into the Premier League and has kept them there. He's taken them into Europe. He looks a little bit groggy, Martinez. They won't want to lose him.
I think you worry as well now with the concussion, and you hopefully he can continue, because you wouldn't want him to come off in this game. He's been such a great keeper.
Yeah, and Wolves will know more than anyone else about that, with Raúl Jiménez still sidelined, and probably for quite a while. But, I think Martinez is going to be okay. Jed Steer is the substitute keeper for Villa, who bizarrely doesn't play very often. Both of his last two games for Villa were against Wolves, but I think Wolves will be hoping that he doesn't have to come on and Martinez is okay. Here come Wolves again, and that's a trip by Douglas Luiz on the teenage striker Fabio Silva. Very distinctive figure with a shock of brown curly hair. Did he look for this one?
He might look for it, but it's such a silly foul to give away Douglas Luiz. Now you're booked in a position where you're going to have to make a lot of tackles in the game. It's just a silly yellow card because Conso was covering and wouldn't have got there.
Yeah, I would agree. It is a booking, just to confirm, for Douglas Luiz, the 22-year-old Brazilian, once of Manchester City. 14 minutes played. Wolves have the ball on the far side. It's clipped down the line by Marçal. Here is Fabio Silva, one of two teenagers who have been given their chance by the respective managers today. Traoré has it for Villa, and now Luis back to Konsa, and Tyrone Mings back to his central defensive partner Ezri Konsa, who drives it long up towards Watkins, who does well to control a high ball and finds Traoré with a short pass. This is Bertrand Traoré finding Luis, and now it's Cash on the far side for Aston Villa. Luis finds Ramsey, the youngster, in turn back to Ezri Konsa. Ramsey again, wearing number 41. Big day for him on his Premier League debut. He's drifting across centre midfield at the moment and has found Mings, who picks out Matt Targett, the former Southampton left back, who has been a pretty constant figure for Aston Villa since arriving. Here's Bertrand Traoré, find Douglas Luiz, back by Traoré. Luiz has done well to get away from his man. He rolls the ball out wide to Jack Grealish. Grealish looking to cause havoc in the West Bromwich Albion area, tries to play a 1-2 there with Luiz. Grealish has gone down. They want a free kick. I think Luiz is claiming he was inside the box, but I don't think he was.
Yeah, I think the foul's on Traoré. On Grealish. Grealish obstructed him there for the 1-2.
Be a free kick in a very dangerous position from Wolverhampton Wanderers' point of view, just a fraction outside the penalty area on the near left-hand side as Villa attack. There's still discussions going on between Mike Dean and Wolverhampton Wanderers players, but it's in vain really. The decision's been made, and Jack Grealish, hands on hips, is looking at the ball and wondering what he might be able to. Yes, it was a definite block, wasn't it, by Traoré on Grealish. That was the foul. The actual tackle on the edge of the box was a clean one by Cody, but by then the foul had been committed. So Aston Villa, with 17 minutes played, have an opportunity here maybe to put some real pressure on Rui Patricio. Grealish And Traore, it's Traore! The ball is flicked away. It comes out to Ramsey. They're claiming handball. Aston Villa as the youngster got the ball back in, but nothing doing. And Wolves have cleared. I must say I didn't get a proper clear view of that, Gabby. It'll be interesting to look at it again. I don't know whether VAR will become involved, but certainly half a dozen Villa players had their hands in the air.
Yeah, I'm sure if VAR spotted, they'll give it, but it was very hard to tell them. But it was a great cross from Traore, and that's what Villa have got to do. Any chance to get a cross in, they've got to use it. Grealish
has lost out to Dendoncker, who's played a wayward ball across midfield, but Wolves have got away with it. It's come back to Rui Patricio in lime green shirt and shorts and bright orange boots. Now Connor Cody just clipping the ball away to the near side where it's controlled by Semedo, who negotiates his way round Jack Grealish. Square ball to Dendoncker, and now it's Saiss. It's a useful ball forward. Saiss, of course, is a player who can play in midfield, so as a centre half will perhaps have a greater passing range than Som. Here's Cody, and he's found Semedo. Now it's Traore. It's the first time really that Wolves have had a real spell of possession. Traore's going to head for the byline and get the cross in. It's a useful looking one, and the acrobatic clearances by Douglas Luiz. Back in it comes from Moutinho. And Wolves are enjoying a little spell of pressure here. It's Semedo on the near side. Square ball infield to Dendoncker. Better space potentially for Adama Traore, who has two Villa players to try and negotiate, the second of which, Matt Targett, slides in, tackles him, and the ball goes behind for a Wolverhampton Wanderers.
That's really important to get the 2v1 at all times when Traore's got the ball, and I think every team does it against him now because he's so dangerous one-on-one.
We just looked at that incident again, Gabby. It was fired across goal, and
I've seen handballs. I've seen penalties given for that this season.
I think the player's ducking down to try and head the ball. It's bypass. I don't think his arms are in an unnatural position, and clearly neither did the VAR or Mike Dean. So we have a corner to Wolves. João Moutinho, the veteran Portuguese midfielder, takes it, but takes it poorly. Wolves clear back out to Moutinho. It's a better looking cross this time, and up climbed young Fabio Silva, but up above him I think was Ezri Konsa, and the ball went over the crossbar but via Konsa's head. It's another corner to Wolverhampton Wanderers with 20 minutes played at Molineux. Change of approach this time. It's going to be Pedro Neto with a short corner to João Moutinho. Here is Traore, header away by Mings, drops for Bertrand Traore. Villa haven't cleared that particularly well, but they do now with no-nonsense thump upfield from Matt Targett, which goes out of play very close to the halfway line. Well, we're just looking at this incident again.
That's a handball for me.
Well,
I'm seeing it again, and the rules this season, that's a handball.
Well, yeah, it's an interesting one. It could. I'd have to say it could be or it couldn't be. So it's fairly indecisive. I'm not sure it's a clear and obvious error, but I know what you mean. His elbow is out, although he's leaning down. I don't know where he can put his elbow. Anyway, here comes a ball in from Villa, and Saiss acrobatically on the volley manages to clear the ball. Memphis says, "Good afternoon, guys. I'm listening from Lagos, Nigeria. I want to know what you think about Thomas Partey walking off the pitch for an injury in that game recently with Arsenal. We'll come to that in just a moment, perhaps. Here's Wolves defending well from a Villa throw-in. The ball is hoisted forward up towards Watkins, who's done well to control it, but Saiss is having a good game at the heart of the Villa rear guard. Clears. What do you think? Should Partey have stayed on the pitch? And
not really, no. You don't know the full extent of an injury. Sometimes you've done your hamstring or you have the muscle tear. You can't even run, and even if you do, you might make it worse. So no, I don't blame him for coming off.
Albert Promise is listening to us. Wolves will win the game, he says. At the moment it's goalless, approaching the midway point in the first half. Here's Bertrand Traore. Can't control the ball. Hasn't really been able to get into the game thus far. The best Villa action has been down the left-hand side with McGinn and Grealish. There's a climb there by young Fabio Silva. What I've seen of him so far, I'm quite impressed with. He's not the tallest, but he's not scared of getting himself in there, and he climbed well for a header earlier as well.
Yeah, I think we're still not really sure what sort of striker he is. I think he needs more game time, and then we'll find out if he's a tricky striker, he's good in the air. So I think we don't really know much about him yet.
Yeah, won the title with Porto last season in Portugal. Here's Grealish at the other end for Wolverhampton Wanderers. Nice little back flick to McGinn. McGinn finding a target across, might fall for Ramsey, and there was a chance for the youngster to crown his first Premier League game with a goal, but he rather hesitantly put it over the bar, but it was a good build-up by Villa.
Yeah, I love the way you look in the picture here, Matt Target, the way on the replay we can see he's making that late run. Traore's not concentrating, and if he played that across the goal even, Watkins was free. I mean, he's tried to cut it back, and the better ball would have been across the box for Watkins, but good play from Aston Villa, and it's been a promising 22 minutes from them.
There's another potential handball there as well, involving Roman Saiz again. This time his hand was down by his side. It hit him on the wrist, I think, but Mike Dean has been unmoved on both occasions. Trevor Welsh is tweeted from Ireland. They're covering the game today. Welcome to all our Irish listeners. Good to have you with us. It's goalless midway through the first half at a sun-dappled Molineux at the moment. Christmas is not too far away, but the weather is reasonably kind. It's not that cold. I think it's about 7 or 8 degrees, which is okay for the time of year. I'm sure some of you listening in various parts of the world would probably be shuddering at the idea of 7 degrees, but in Wolverhampton in December it's not too bad. Grealish has gone down holding his foot after a foul by Dendoncker. It's going to be a free kick to Aston Villa. Just a collision between the two, and
them ones hurt. I know he's feeling that.
Landed on him, didn't he? Really?
Your toe will be throbbing after that, especially Dendoncker. Looks like he's got size 11.
He's a big lad, isn't he? Yes, you wouldn't want them landing on you. Grealish is a more diminutive figure, but I think he's going to be okay.
They're the frustrating ones where you're just so angry that someone stood on your toe.
Yeah.
You can't help but you'd rather be kicked on the calf or something than your toes. Your toes are so delicate. But it's always him, isn't it?
Twinkle-toed Gabby Agbonlahor.
That's it. Soft toes, man.
Well, your team, Aston Villa, still looking to make a breakthrough. They've got a free kick midway inside the Villa half. Grealish still looks in a bit of bother. So Bertrand Traore's gone across to take it. Aims towards Mings. It's cleared by Wolves. Back in it comes from Douglas Luiz. Mings is still up there. Can't get ahead of this time either. And Fabio Silva with a clever ball over the top might put Wolves away on the counter-attack here. This is Neto switching the play towards Fabio Silva, who's trying to get away from Douglas Luiz, who does really well. Used his experience, got between him and the ball, but Villa have contrived to give away a free kick here. McGinn was trying to wrestle the ball away.
He tries to do that a lot, McGinn. Sometimes he can just control the ball, but he tries to use his body, and most of the time it works, but when it doesn't work, it's very dangerous.
He ended up tripping.
Yeah, he's very strong with his lower body, so he tries to use that to his advantage, and it works a lot. But unfortunately there it didn't work.
Well, the Scottish international has conceded a free kick which is certainly within range for Wolverhampton Wanderers. It's about 25 yards away from Emi Martinez's goal, and you won't be surprised to learn that it's Joao Moutinho, who's such a master from these kind of situations, who's stepped up to take the free kick, although he also has Pedro Neto standing over the ball. It looks to me as if Moutinho will strike it. It would have to be a good one to score from here. and he's left it for Neto, who drives it low. It hits the wall. Well, they all thought Moutinho was going to shoot, myself included, and he just flicked it square. Neto's low drive, hoping that the wall... It's clever idea. I think they were expecting the wall to maybe rise in anticipation of a Moutinho strike, and then Neto tried to get it under it, but the wall did its job.
I think from there, you don't mind them even shooting from there. A keeper like Martinez will not be beaten from that far out from any strike.
Yeah.
Unless it's Roberto Carlos.
Or Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah. Sadly, neither of those two are on offer at the moment to Wolverhampton Wanderers. One attempt on goal is the sum total of the 27 minutes so far. That was shot by young Jacob Ramsey, which went a good way wide, so neither goalkeeper has had anything remotely to worry about as yet.
It's actually crazy stat that, because there's so many attacking players on the pitch. It's not as if Wolves are playing five at the back and more defensive. It's like all the attacking players are doing their job defensively and stopping teams from counter-attacking.
Yeah, there's been plenty of attacking intent as well. It's not as if it's been a Dow game where they've both desperately been sitting back. Wolves have tried to get forward on the counter. Villa have had more of the possession. You're right, it is surprising that one-off target effort is all we've had to show for 28 minutes now. It's header away by Target, who then collided with Daniel Podence, who made his debut for Portugal recently in a game against Sweden, which they won by 3-0. Portugal, of course, are the reigning European champions and will be defending that title in the summer. Here's Nelson Semedo. Imagine Wolves fans, if they're not supporting England, will probably be supporting Portugal in that one. There are so many Portuguese players in the team. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 of them today, I think, if my maths is right. Here's one who isn't. Roman Saiz, Moroccan, gets the ball forward, and there's a Villa foul there on Pedro Neto, who is Portuguese, and it's been penalised by Matty Cash, who, as I mentioned, is on a booking. We'll have to be careful because he'll get a suspension if he picks up a yellow card.
Yeah, he's been booked. Yeah, he's been booked, so that's him out of the Burnley game.
Yep, he will not be playing in the game against Burnley in midweek. So that means that Villa will have to reshuffle ahead of the relegation strugglers. Here's Moutinho. Now Connor Cody, the Wolverhampton Wanderers captain, spears the ball forward. It's a useful looking ball, but Target is up there to get his header away to safety under pressure from Adama Traore, of whom we haven't seen a great deal. A couple of jinks down the right hand side from him, but certainly he's a player who's capable of much more. Podence is fouled. Does it begin again?
It's a foul, but come on, my team's giving yellow cards to everyone for the first fouls.
Well, Luis has been fouled.
Incredible.
Been booked. We've seen Cash booked, and now I think McGinn. I think that's a second offence by McGinn, isn't it? He was guilty of a foul earlier. Anyway, 3 Villa players have now been yellow carded in the opening half hour, and they now have to face a free kick to Wolves.
They're not all yellow cards. Like, it's incredible because now the Villa have got 3 or 4 players on the yellow card. You're more risk of getting sent off. I just don't understand.
Dean Smith has been looking at a monitor and has walked away looking less than impressed. Again, it's the same combination over the ball, Moutinho and Neto. This time it's Neto who finds Moutinho, who finds Traore. Traore to the byline, cuts the cross in. It's nodded away by that Target and then hoofed upfield by Jack Grealish, who appears to have recovered from that foot injury. Header back finds Semedo, who gets it all the way back to Rui Patricio. And Michael L, bearing in mind my comments about the weather, we know the feeling of 7 degrees in Montana. He's got a picture there of a snow plough. Sounds like -7 there. Montana in the sort of northern central part of the United States, am I right? Slightly towards the western coast. Anyway, it looks cold, Michael, so wrap up. I'm sure you're more used to it, those sort of temperatures, than we are. The whole of England grinds to a halt if it gets below zero. Here's Matt Target. That's a clever ball to find Grealish. Inside the box, Jack Grealish shoots. It hits a defender and spins away towards the far side. Just for a moment, Jack Grealish, after a really clever piece of play by Target, had a sighted goal there. To throw in to Wolves, which Cash will take. He's rubbing the ball on his shirt, taking quite a run up at this, so we're anticipating a long throw. Certainly Conser and Mings have gone up in anticipation of that. Here it comes. It's high and hanging. Mings looking to get underneath it. Flicked by Conser, and it's not that far wide. Header by the defender who'd gone up for the long throw. Wolves would have been furious if they'd have conceded there. But it was a good high long throw. Conser first to it, not too far away.
Unlucky, but I think he's got to try and flick that to another teammate there, not go for goal. But some more good play there. A great chance from Grealish, you know. He maybe could have laid it back, but he got his shot off. But Villa have been the better team so far, but I'm still frustrated at them yellow cards, because it changes your game as a midfielder when you get a yellow card. You can't make certain tackles that maybe are 50-50s. It looks like Mike Dean is card happy today.
Yeah, the Douglas Luiz one I think was a little bit harsh. I'm not sure about McGinks. I think it was the culmination of two. Now there's a foul there, but that's not spotted by Mike Dean, who lets it go. Wolves have the ball. It was João Moutinho who committed the foul, and I thought, just as you said that, I thought, oh God, he's going to show Wolves a yellow. No, he didn't.
He should do. He's got to keep it fair. And he's just saying play on. Free kick.
Wasted clearance by Wolves. Back it comes for Villa, up towards Watkins. Had a fairly quiet game so far. This is Fabio Silva. It's a nice touch again by the youngster. He looks a player, this boy, I must say. Some of the Villa players, I think, are saying to Mike Dean, well, what's going on? We've had 3 booked. There's a foul by Moutinho, and we don't even get a free kick.
Yeah, look at this, look. Well, Moutinho kicks him.
He does. I'm not sure necessarily it's a booking, but it's certainly a foul. But anyway, we've got 12 minutes left of the first half, and Mike Dean's having a long conversation with the Aston Villa captain, Jack Grealish, and explaining to him perhaps why that free kick wasn't given. He was making a gesture with his thumb and forefinger, but I'm not quite sure what that meant, Mike Dean. Anyway, to throw into Villa, here's Watkins, held off well by Saiz. Ball in midfield now for Wolves with Adama Traore, who toe pokes it out to the overlapping Nelson Semedo. Semedo looking to attack his man. Great tackle by Matt Target. He's played well also. Grealish will come through the penalty area. Now what's Mike Dean going to do here?
That should be a yellow card. Well, it's the exact same foul.
By the virtue of the others, you're probably right.
You've got to be fair if you're giving yellow cards like he's giving. You can't just give them to Villa players and not Wolves. This is a yellow card.
Yes, I agree. He's just smacked him down with his forearm, hasn't he, almost?
Yeah.
Which would be a high tackle in rugby, never mind football. But again, Mike Dean is kept his card in his pocket. 10 minutes to go to half time, and it's become a little bit scrappy, I think, maybe because of all this. A lot of fouls, a lot of stoppages, and no goals yet. Only a couple of efforts on goal, both from Wolves. A shot wide by young Ramsey and a header wide by Ezri Konsa. The closest we've come to a goal in the opening half. Wolves haven't really laid a glove on Emi Martinez yet. He's got the ball at his feet, wearing all blue. Finds Mings, who plays it across the field to Konsa. Konsa just inside his own half, rolls it back to his goalkeeper again. Can either of these two great rivals break the deadlock? They met 3 times last season. Wolves took 6 points off Villa in the Premier League, but Villa did beat Wolves in a League Cup tie in the Carabao Cup en route to their final appearance, which they lost to Manchester City. Here's Tyrone Mings driving forward. Ball swept on the full by McGinn, but intercepted by Wolves. The back heel by Podence is a little ambitious, doesn't release Neto, and the ball goes back to Martinez, who finds Mings. Mings with his left foot swings the ball forward for Villa. It's headed away by Semedo, loose in midfield. Grealish wins it and finds Ramsey, who controls it well. Looks to get away from João Moutinho, but Moutinho has managed to poke it forward here to Pedro Neto, who's got to run into the box. He sets up Podence. It deflects wildly and deflects wide. It was probably the first attempt of any kind on goal by Wolves, a counter-attack. Neto set it up, Podence struck it, but it hit a defender. And there were a few hearts in mouths for a moment, but in the end it went quite a way wide.
Yeah, it was good defending from Conte. He didn't dive in, and then he fancied himself to get a block against Podence on his left foot. So some good defending there from Aston Villa.
We're not joining Cash in the corner. The result is a corner to Wolves. Podence, who won it, is among the thicket of players inside that Aston Villa penalty area. It's Wolves' fourth corner of the game. It's going to be taken by João Moutinho with his right foot and out swinger. Mings wins the header. Bertrand Traore, terrible clearance. What has he done there?
Honestly,
he's inside his own box, and the ball has ended up by his own corner flag, which is about 10 yards behind him.
So far, to be honest.
That's extraordinary. It was a routine clearance.
Incredible.
Now they're under pressure again as Wolves come forward. Jinking run, good shot, brilliant save by Emi Martinez. That's the best moment of the game so far for Wolves, with Podence unleashing a right foot shot, low and skimming from 20 yards, and Martinez brilliantly down to his left to make the save.
This is why it's so important to have a very good goalkeeper in the Premier League, because other keepers, that's a goal for me, and shows how good Martinez is.
Yeah, and it all started from that terrible clearance by, well, you could barely call it a clearance, really. It was up and under, which put them back under pressure. By far Wolves' best moment of the half so far. It remains 0-0 with 7 minutes of the opening period remaining. Here's Mings just inside his own half, tries to lay it off to target, under a bit of pressure from Podence, but it's gone back safely to Martinez. That's the first time either of the goalkeepers has been severely tested, and he passed that test with flying colours. Great save by the former Arsenal keeper. Here's Douglas Luiz for Villa, back to Tyrone Mings, who plays it low in towards McGinn, and now Target, blocked by Traore. McGinn muscled off the ball by young Fabio Silva, who in the end can't get the better of Target, but it's come back to Traore for Wolves. Adama Traore, jinking run, terrific run into the box, gets to the byline, clips it in. There's no contact, and Villa clear. Lovely play by Traore. It's now Semedo. Wolves attacking Villa's goal with ferocity here. It's Traore on the right-hand side, clipping it back to João Moutinho. Sweeps it away across field towards Neto on the far side. There's an overlap here by Marçal. It's come back to Neto and eventually all the way back to the halfway line. Conor Cody has it, drives it forward again, keen to keep the pressure up for Wolves. It's a good ball to Traore, who goes past the first challenge but not the second, which was by Grealish. And Villa might counter here with Ollie Watkins. Watkins showing a clean pair of hips to Conor Cody, who tried to pull him back. Still it's Watkins. It's a great run by Ollie Watkins, who needs support, finds it from Grealish. Grealish just on the edge of the penalty area, quick feet, toe pokes it back to McGinn, who strikes it. It's blocked by Cody, and it comes out to Podence, and suddenly Wolves are on the attack, and again it's end to end at the moment. There's space here a little bit for Traore, edge of the penalty area. It's Adama Traore who finds Dendoncker, who shoots it, spilled by Martinez, and then a brilliant clearance under pressure by Aston Villa, who still haven't cleared completely. It's Neto who plays a poor ball. Grealish chests it down, it deflects and then wide from Podence again. Goodness me, Aston Villa were under real pressure there, and it culminated in Daniel Podence firing a shot in, which after Emiliano Martinez had saved from Dendoncker was deflected towards him again, and he kept it out once more.
Yeah, some great defending there from Mings. He's got there out of nowhere to make that challenge. but it's Aston Villa that sometimes they shoot themselves in the foot on the counter-attack, and Traore's look very dangerous.
It wasn't a very good touch by Grealish that allowed Padet, and it deflected wide, I think, off Mings. It's a corner to Wolves. It's an outswinger. Up goes Saiz. Good header by young Ramsey. Here come Wolves again. And clipped in by Neto towards Silva. Up goes Saiz once more. Weak header by the big defender. Takes a bounce in the 6-yard box, and Emi Martinez claims, and chance really for Villa just to regain a little bit of composure. They've only had 29% of the possession in the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's been very hard for Aston Villa to get out. Whenever Mings and Conte get the ball, there seems to be no one showing to feet. That's not like Aston Villa.
Grealish has gone for the long ball. It's headed away by Semedo, then flicked on by Dendoncker. Here's Douglas Luiz. Fabio Silva again does well and wriggles away from his man and tries to slide it in towards Traore, who's got there quicker than Mings. It's cleared by Martinez, but a free kick has been awarded for an earlier foul on Fabio Silva. Yes, it was an arm pull back by Jacob Ramsey.
Some good goalkeeping there from Martinez, because Traore put on the afterburners, didn't he? He was in on goal there.
Free kick to Wolves inside the centre circle. 3 minutes to go to half time. It's taken short by Moutinho to Leander Dendoncker, who scored the winner between these two teams at Villa Park last season. Doesn't get too many, but that was a big one. And now we're going to see a yellow card, I think, for Dendoncker. What's going on here? Dendoncker's having a right row with Grealish and McGinn, who are getting a little bit too close to him for comfort. It looks like a yellow card's been shown.
Fair, though.
It's been shown to Traore.
Yeah, that's what you need. You need it to be fair. If you're giving Villa players yellow card for any foul, you look at it here. McGinn wins the ball back. He plays it. It's a foul.
Yeah, it is a foul. I mean, that's a correct yellow card. He went through him from behind. And then I don't quite know why Dendoncker decided to get involved with Grealish. I think Grealish said something to Traore. Dendoncker took exception to it. There was a little bit of a melee.
That's what you want to see in a derby, though, isn't it? You want to see that bit of like handbags. So yeah, I'm sure he'll continue through the game.
Oh, here's Bertrand Traore forward for Wolves, and he's won a corner. He got all the way to the byline. It was lightning counter attack, and Traore couldn't quite get the better. Lovely play initially to control it and then to get past the man, but
he just sort of crossed it without that extra touch. But good play from Traore.
Yeah, it was very good play. Former Chelsea man and Ajax, of course. Corner to Wolves. Can they nick one just before half time? It's Jack Grealish to take it. In it comes. Header away at the near post is by Semedo. Back in it comes for Villa. Mings is about half a mile offside, and although he backheeled it into the net, even he knew that the flag was inevitably going to be raised.
Yeah, but I
couldn't be more offside than that, could you?
I think he knew. That's why he backheeled it into the net.
Yeah, it was just it wasn't even in hope, was it? He knew. He was all on his own. Everybody else had pushed up. Last minute of the 45. It's been an entertaining game for all the lack of goals. Plenty of yellow cards. 3 for Villa, 1 for Wolves. Good goalkeeping primarily by Martinez. You'd say Villa have been the better team overall, but when you look at it, you'd say Wolves have had better chances. Certainly Rui Patricio hasn't yet been tested by Villa. He might be here. Here's Grealish on the left-hand side. Gets to the byline beyond Semedo. It's a great run by Grealish. He wants a penalty. He's not going to get one. He'll get a corner, though. He went down as Semedo chased him into the box. I don't think...
Great acceleration there from Grealish, though.
Yeah, absolutely. Is there a touch here? No.
Not really, no.
But he's got a corner.
That's what you want to see, though. You want him getting the ball one-on-one, because that's what he can do. He can beat anyone on his day, 1v1.
Well, a corner to Wolves. We're into stoppage time at the end of the first half, of which I don't think there'll be a huge amount. 3. Wow, plenty of time for Villa, if they can create something from this corner kick. Wolves will have to concentrate fully here as Jack Grealish prepares to take the set piece. In it comes. It's a deep one, and it's hit on the volley. It's landed at the feet of John McGinn. Nice first touch, then a good ball in. Cleared well by Wolves. It's come out to Douglas Luiz, who finds Grealish. Grealish again, real pressure from Villa. And again, there's a tackle from Semedo. Villa want a corner, and Grealish will make sure that he shields the ball away from Semedo and that they do get another corner kick. Strong finish to the half from Aston Villa, who, remember, have only won one of their last 5 Premier League games. They've lost the other 4, but they do have an excellent away record. 3 wins out of 4 on the road so far in this division. Grealish will take another corner in the 47th minute. It's low towards the near post this time. Wolves deal with it well. Neto gets the ball away, and it's come out to Marçal, the left back from Brazil, and he's fouled. What I like about Wolves in this game particularly is every time they get the ball on the edge of their own box, they're always looking to spring some kind of counter, aren't they?
Yeah, they're looking to hit the counter-attack, and they've got the attacking players on the pitch for it. Both teams have. I think that's why this game will be won, with a bit of counter-attack football and someone getting a goal, because both teams are making it hard for each other to play out from the back.
Yeah. Grealish and Watkins, of course, have contributed virtually all of Villa's goals this season. Wolves are without their main man, Raul Jimenez. Here's Grealish for Villa, getting to the edge of the box. McGinn drives it in low, and it's Connor Cody with a very cool clearance under pressure. Mings is under pressure from Fabio Silva, and Wolves knock it over the top for Traore to chase. Might still be time for Wolves to launch a counter-attack, and Traore's won a free kick here. And you can hear the players complaining about that.
What I like about the no fans is you can hear all the coaching staff of both teams on the side. It's a foul, get off him, referee, Lino.
Oi, Lino!
Yeah, it's hilarious.
Right, this is last opportunity, I think, of the half for either side to score. It's going to be Wolves with a free kick just inside the Villa half. Wide on the right-hand side. And it's the 35-year-old veteran, João Moutinho, who is going to take it. He's got 6 players in old gold to aim at. In it comes. It's a useful looking cross. It's Fabio Silva with a flick header, and the youngster on his first Premier League start looks up at the skies in frustration. He got a connection on it, but his header went wide. Might just have been
offside. It's a great ball in, isn't it, from Moutinho, and I feel like we said this earlier, but I'm sure Jimenez does better there.
Yeah. That is the last action of the first half in this 133-year-old West Midlands League derby. There hasn't been a goal, but it's been entertaining. Both teams are threatening on the counter. Emiliano Martinez, the busier of the 2 goalkeepers, but between Wolverhampton Wanderers and Villa at half-time, it's 0-0. You're listening to Premier League Live.
League Live. With TalkSport.
Demanding a high performance from your team. You should be demanding the same from your tires. The Irish Tyre Industry Association is urging motorists to stay safe this winter and check the condition of your tires. You could even be liable for a fine and 2 penalty points if found driving with tires below the legal tread depth limit of 1.6 millimeters. ITIA expert technicians will carry out a free tire safety check to ensure your tires are safe and legal. Visit itia.ie to find your local expert.
As Ireland's homegrown insurer, FPD knows it's empowering when someone has your back. So switch your van insurance to us and get up to 75% no-claim discount. Visit fpd.ie to request a quote. FPD Insurance. Support. It's what we do. Terms, conditions and underwriting criteria apply. 75% no-claims discount is based on proof of 5 years no-claims discount and available to new commercial motor customers only. FPD Insurance Group Limited, trading as FPD Insurance, is regulated by the Central Bank of Ireland. Commercial motor insurance is underwritten by FPD Insurance PLC.
This is not the time for business as usual. It's time for effort and imagination. It's time to use technology to start your online plans. It's time to work from home to stay in touch. It's time to look to each other. Ireland is working online with help from Black Knight and .ie, because now we need better than business as usual. Call Black Knight on 059 918 3027 or visit blackknight.ie.
Certainty. With Volkswagen commercial vehicles, it's included as standard. Quality, performance, reliability. And now with purchase contributions of up to €3,500 and service plans from $999. For vans and offers you can rely on, always. Contact your local Volkswagen commercial vehicles dealer or visit volkswagenvans.ie. T's and C's apply.
There's certain matchday sounds we are all missing. But there are others we don't have to. Is Carlsberg Pilsner the best beer to enjoy while watching the match at home? Probably. Carlsberg Pilsner, probably the best beer in the world. Enjoy Carlsberg sensibly. Visit drinkerware.ie.
This Christmas, get all the non-stop Premier League action with a Now TV, Sky Sports or Sports Extra pack. Watch over 40 games this December with the biggest names in the league.
Gets it from Fernandes.
Stream every game or only pay for the ones you want. Your sport on your terms with Now TV. 18 plus ROI only. Month passes sold separately and auto-renew. Minimum speed 2.5 megabits per second. Terms apply.
The Premier League Live.
Oh, what a goal!
With TalkSport.
Welcome back. Goalless at half-time in the West Midlands between Wolves and Villa. Mings looking to get underneath it. Flicked by Konsa, and it's not that far wide. Header by the defender who'd gone up for the long throw. Wolves would have been furious if they'd have conceded there.
Unlucky, but I think he's got to try and flick that to another teammate there, not go for goal. But yeah, some more good play there. A great chance for Grealish, you know. He maybe could have laid it back, but he got his shot off. But Villa have been the better team so far.
Wolves come forward. Jinking run. Good shot. Brilliant save by Emi Martinez. That's the best moment of the game so far for Wolves, with Podence unleashing a right foot shot low and skimming from 20 yards, and Martinez brilliantly down to his left to make the save.
That's why it's so important to have a very good goalkeeper in the Premier League, because other keepers, that's a goal for me, and it shows how good Martinez is.
Well, chances at both ends, but neither club managing a goal between them so far in this one. Plenty of yellow cards, so although there's no crowd, Gabby, it's a proper derby, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a proper derby, you know. Like I said earlier, Grealish would have told the Villa players about the derby. I'm sure Conor Cody's been in the club for so long, he would have told the Wolves players about the derby, and it's been a feisty encounter. Both teams are playing a lot of attacking players, but there's not been many chances, so it's maybe it's a credit to the attacking players who are defending well.
Yeah, I mean, it's been up and down a little bit in terms of counter-attacking. I think you said in the first half, the most likely route to a goal possibly will be via that method, because both teams look dangerous when they do come forward. They just haven't quite provided the finish.
Yeah, both teams look very good on the counter-attack, but during open play, we see Mings getting the ball, we see Cody getting the ball, but it seems like there's no space for them to play into midfield, and sometimes in derby games, you're scared to make that risky pass because you don't want to be the one that gives the ball away and loses the derby, and that's what you're seeing today. The only play that's been entertaining is when it's counter-attack.
Yeah, I mean, Fabio Silva comes in for Wolves, the 18-year-old, once of Porto. It's his first Premier League start. I mean, I think he's generally played well, but I think what it's underlined is how much they miss Raul Jimenez, because there have been a few crosses in, particularly from Traore on the right, and he just doesn't have the same presence. It's not his fault, but he simply doesn't.
No, and then Raul Jimenez is one of the best strikers in the Premier League, so they're going to miss him. But this young lad's doing okay. He's not getting much service at the moment, but he looks like a threat, and I'm sure he'll get into the game. But some of the crosses that have been put in, I'm sure Raul Jimenez would have scored today, because they've been great crosses.
Yeah, and as ever for Villa, usually it's when Jack Grealish has got the ball at his feet where things look as if they're going to happen. Certainly that left-hand side as they attack, with McGinn supporting in there and Target, the left-back, as well. That looks Villa's most likely route.
Yeah, you're looking at that side, and it's always Villa players are going to try and find their best player, and that's Jack Grealish. So the most attacks will always be down that side. And we've seen once he gets one-on-one, he's got the beating of Semedo every time, and that's what Aston Villa need to get the ball, somehow get the early switch and get the ball to Jack, because he's really dangerous.
Mike Dean, the referee, showed 4 yellow cards in that first half, most serious of which is the one to Matty Cash for Villa, because he'll be suspended for the next game. Are you concerned that if it carries on being a full-blooded derby, we could see a red card at some point?
Yeah, but I don't think you're going to see. I think you'll see a red card because of the way he's giving the yellow cards out, but it won't be a red card that's due, because Mike Dean's giving out yellows. You know, it's incredible, and I just feel that there's a lot of Aston Villa players now that are on a booking, and it could be a red card for something very silly and not even a red card offence.
Yeah, Matty Cash, John McGinn and Douglas Luiz have all been booked for Aston Villa. Adama Traore has been booked for Wolves. So we've got plenty more football coming up for you throughout the afternoon. As ever, our next stop will be Newcastle United against West Bromwich Albion. Russell Hargreaves and Hogan Ephraim will be bringing you that one as West Brom look to improve their position at the foot of the table. That's followed by the Manchester derby between United and City. They'll never forgive me for getting that wrong. Tom Rennie and Kid Simons, the former Manchester City defender, will be watching that one. We heard before this game from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Let's get the thoughts of Pep Guardiola, who in particular has been talking this week about Kevin De Bruyne and comparing him to a player that Guardiola knows well from Barcelona days. He says that De Bruyne reminds him of Andres Iniesta.
It would be there, yeah. So I was a lucky person. So being in Barcelona, Munich, and here, I train incredible among players. But if you ask me which the best keeper, I could not answer you, because it would be incredible respect for another keepers. You know, if I choose Victor Valdez, what happened Neuer, or what happened Eddie, for example, right now, all of 3 were incredible. So, but Kevin, of course, it's not necessary to be a brilliant guy and a smart guy, a wise guy, to realize that, and any person in the world football, you know that Kevin will be there.
Absolutely, that's high praise indeed. If he's comparing him to Iniesta, who scored the winning goal for Spain in the 2010 World Cup final. How do you see this second half here panning out, Gabby? As we've mentioned, potential counter-attacks, but it's hard to say which team's been the better team, or indeed which team looks more like winning.
Yeah, I don't think you can even just try and predict who's going to win this game. Like I said, it's going to be who's going to have the chance on a counter-attack and who's going to take that chance. You've seen a few chances for each team that half, and they've not taken them. On another day, probably Wolves are ahead now, but it's going to be even, and I just feel like any mistake could cost a game.
Who could be the key players for either side, do you think, from what you've seen so far? I mean,
Traore's dangerous, isn't he? I mean, when he gets the ball, I'm frightened, when especially when it's on the counter-attack, and when Jack Grealish gets the ball, he's frightening as well. So I'm just hoping that the referee doesn't spoil the game by sending someone off, because it's been a good, even game.
Well, he's sent off 102 players in his long career as a referee, Mike Dean, and he's been brandishing yellow cards already in this one. Some deserved, perhaps some less so, but let's hope that we don't see too many more of those. We haven't had any VAR controversy either. What we really need, I think, in this game is a real spark from somebody inside the 18-yard box, because there's been plenty of good approach play, but neither side really has particularly looked like poaching in the box. The 2 best chances for Wolves have come from outside the area. All will be revealed in the second half as these 2 teams prepare to come out again for the first of 4 Premier League games on this Saturday. 5 more to come on Sunday. So at half-time here, it is Wolverhampton Wanderers 0, Aston Villa 0. We'll be back with the whole of the second half on Premier League Live.
This Christmas, get all the non-stop Premier League action with the Now TV, Sky Sports or Sports Extra pack. Watch over 40 games this December with the biggest names in the league.
Gets it from Fernandes.
Stream every game or only pay for the ones you want. Your sport on your terms with Now TV. 18+ Plus ROI only. Month passes sold separately and auto-renew. Minimum speed 2.5 megabits per second. Terms apply.
Introducing Guardson Sport. Protect your sporting equipment from COVID-19 for up to 14 days with Guardson Sport disinfectant treatment. Ideal in team sport settings with the sharing of balls, rackets, gloves, helmets, and all other sporting equipment. Guardson Sport kills COVID-19 on impact, keeping surfaces free from COVID-19 and other viruses and bacteria for up to 14 days by creating a protective polymer layer on application. For more information on Guardson Sport and other quality assured, certified and approved PPE, visit yourcovidprotection.com.
Create the Premier League atmosphere at home with Harvey Norman, the home of the big screen. Feel like you're on the pitch with our stunning range of 4K smart LED and OLED TVs from LG, starting from just $449. Plus, hear every kick, save, tackle, decision with LG's best-in-class soundbars. Get TV ready for all the big games with Harvey Norman. Shop online today or safely in our spacious stores. Harvey Norman, home of the big screen.
Let's talk about you looking after your business. Ford, looking after your vehicle. Let's talk hassle-free Ford leasing. Just a fixed monthly payment, no motor tax to deal with, and no maintenance or servicing to pay on selected plans. Get the Ford Transit Custom from €290 per month. Hassle-free Ford lease. Now we're talking. Search Ford Lease or text Ford to 50015 to speak to us about leasing your next vehicle.
Text cost a standard rate. Price quoted for Transit Custom Base with no maintenance. Over 4 years with 3 monthly rentals in advance. 20,000 kilometres per annum. Business users only. Price excludes VAT. Ford Lease is provided by Merriam Fleet Management, trading as Ford Lease.
123ink.ie for all your home office needs, including printers, ink, toners, paper, label markers, binders, pens, pins, batteries, boxes, chalk, compass, files, memory sticks, highlighters, glue, notepads, Whoa! And we're cheaper than your current supplier. 123ink.ie for home, for office, for less.
At Paddy Power, we know competition for the remote control can be fierce at the weekends. So in order to give the non-football loving occupants of your house something to do, here are some of our top suggestions. Go for a walk the dog, go cycling, cycle the dog, recycle the dog, just go! All very good options, we say. And that's not the only one. If one leg of your 4+ fold ACCA lets you down, get a free bet on all football leagues and markets. Paddy Power. Max free bet €10. Min odds 1 to 5 on each leg. Online exclusive. Excludes shop bets. T's and C's apply. 18 plus. Need help? Visit gamblingcare.ie.
You're listening to TalkSport's coverage of Wolverhampton Wanderers against Aston Villa from Molineux. I'm your host, John Anderson. Alongside me is the former Aston Villa and England striker, Gabby Agbonlahor. This is Premier League Live. The Wolves players emerging from the tunnel and lining up on the side for just a little bit of last-minute stretching under the auspices of one of Rui Patricio's coaching staff, a giant banner wishing all the best to Raúl Jiménez as he recovers from that awful head injury he sustained against Arsenal. Villa already out in the middle, awaiting the start of the second half. It was Wolves who had the better chances of the opening period. Emi Martinez made a couple of good saves to deny Podence and Dendoncker. Jack Grealish is smiling as he makes his way towards his position, the Villa captain, and the last man out is Mike Dean, who showed 4 yellow cards in the first half. Hopefully that card will remain in his pocket for the second. So we're about to resume at Molineux. Two teams first met in the FA Cup in 1886. Their first league game was in 1888. They know all about each other, but they haven't managed yet today to unlock the door. But here's Watkins, an early insurgence by Villa, and it's scooped away by João Moutinho, out of play on the far side close to the corner flag. I'll run through the two teams for you in just a moment as Villa prepared to take a throw level with the edge of the 18-yard box. Grealish with a nice little touch back to target, who crosses. It's half cleared, it's nodded back by Ramsey and then clattered away by Wolves. Back it comes from Villa, and Mike Dean is saying handball against Leander Dendoncker. So Aston Villa have an unexpected free kick. He wasn't under any great pressure at all. Well, it came off his midriff and brushed his arm. It's debatable, but anyway, a free kick has been given to Aston Villa midway inside the Wolves half. Still bright and sunny in the Black Country, so called because of its industrial heritage. Douglas Luiz is standing over the ball, so is Bertrand Traore. None of them very positively, but the ball's been played short to Jack Grealish. Grealish makes a mess of his pass. Podence intercepts, and then it's a handball by Target. Wolves have Rui Patricio in goal. The back four is Nelson Semedo, Conor Cody, Roman Saiz, and Marçal. Midfield is Adama Traore, Leandro Dendoncker, and João Moutinho. Up front, Fabio Silva, Pedro Neto, and Daniel Podence. Villa have Emi Martinez between the sticks. Then it's Matty Cash, Ezra Konsa, Tyrone Mings, and Matt Target. Across midfield, Douglas Luiz, John McGinn, and making his Premier League debut, Jacob Ramsey. Up front, Ollie Watkins, Bertrand Traore in for the missing Trezeguet, and the captain, Jack Grealish. Here's Fabio Silva, the teenager for Wolves, who did well in the first half. It's Neto on the near side, back to Marçal, who was once of Benfica and Lyon. This is Dendoncker in centre midfield for Wolves. It's come out to Neto again, back to Marçal, so rather tentative from Wolves at the moment. It's very bright, the sunlight now, as the shadows lengthen across the opposite side of Molineux as we look. 3 minutes gone in the second half. Aston Villa have only conceded 2 goals away from home all season. Clean sheet in the first half. Those two, of course, were the two that beat them against West Ham United. Their only away defeat of the campaign. We've taken 9 of their 15 points on the road, and have already won more games away from home than they did the whole of last season. Conor Cody's got his shirt off. I think he's got a nosebleed, so that will probably mean a shirt change.
I do feel like that, this game, though, it's going to be some brilliance that's going to win the game for a team. But you want to see that. The likes of Grealish, the likes of McGinn, Traore, Podence. You want to see one of them just do something brilliant on the ball and create an opportunity or a goal. I think that's what the game's been lacking, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree. A little spark, something special. You're absolutely right. There are certainly, as you say, players on the pitch who are capable of it. Bit of a delay here as Conor Cody, it's just a nosebleed. I'm not quite sure how he picked it up, but obviously it's being patched up. He probably is going to need a new shirt as well. We're going to see here what happened. Oh, it was just the ball that caught him flush in the face. He was jumping behind Ollie Watkins, got his eye on the ball, and it clattered down maybe onto the bridge of his nose, and those can be painful. He's got a new shirt, and he's just put on the number 16, reattached his captain's armband, and in just a moment we'll be back underway. Talked about Villa's away record. Wolves' home form is good at the moment, unbeaten in the last 4 with only 1 win in defeat in 6 at Molineux. 17 points from 11 games for Wolves actually represents their best ever start to a Premier League campaign, which considering they made Europe. What's going on now? He's got a different shirt. I'm not quite sure what was wrong with the last one. Certainly had the right name on the back and the right number. And finally, Conor Cody is back on the field and the ball is back in play. So a couple of minutes to be added on surely at the end for that stoppage. Here's Tyrone Mings for Aston Villa. Switches it to the near side. It's controlled by Cash, who will incur a suspension after his booking in the first half. He won't be playing Burnley in midweek. Villa's game after that is another West Midlands derby at West Bromwich Albion. Then they have Palace, and after that Chelsea, Manchester United, and then Liverpool in the FA Cup. Here's Jacob Ramsey finding Bertrand Traore. Has gone back to Matty Cash, safety first, finds Martinez, who hits it on the full up towards halfway, where it bounces over Traore. Scuffle for the ball. It's won by Wolves. It's clipped forward, but to no avail. It's been a rather scrappy stop-start second half so far. Here's Tyrone Mings. And finding target, back to Mings again. Jack Grealish has dropped very deep to gather this ball, but plays it forward. It's a brilliant ball, and it's McGinn trying to play it first time low. He was looking to set up a teammate in the penalty area, but it was blocked by Wolves. Lovely ball by Grealish. Here's the throw. Grealish on the ball again, trying to weave some magic. Goes past one Wolves defender and then past him again, but no room at the moment. They've stood him up well, and he's going backwards at the moment. Plays it out to McGinn. McGinn's cross, and Watkins didn't quite get his head to it. It was a really good inviting cross by John McGinn, and Ollie Watkins, who's been in good goal scoring form with 8 this season, it just brushed across his forehead and could get nothing on it.
Yeah, it's a great ball from McGinn, and I think he's mistimed his run there, Watkins, and gone in front of it. But more great play from Grealish, just attracts so many players to the ball, and it gives the chance for another player to be free.
A couple in Villa's last away win at Arsenal, Ollie Watkins, and had he firmly planted his forehead on that, he might have got one here, but as it is, it's still goalless. 7 minutes gone in the second half, still up for grabs. Both sides can progress up the table if they win today. Victory for Wolves would take them up to 6th place or 7th place, just behind Southampton on goal difference. Villa potentially with a victory would climb into 7th as well, so they would go above Manchester United and Manchester City. Both teams would consider 7th place at this stage of the season to be a very, very good showing, especially Villa, who of course survived by a point in the Premier League on the very last day last season. Both managers looking rather ruefully across the pitch at the moment. I think they're probably sharing your view, Gabby, that some of their senior players perhaps need to produce something special to win this one. Here's one of the less experienced players, Ramsey, finding Watkins. Watkins wants to shoot, does shoot, but it's clipped off the defender, and it ends up in the hands of Patricio. He didn't have that many options there, Watkins. Didn't seem to be too many around him. In the end, I suppose his mind was made up for him with that shot.
And it can be very difficult to play in that position where you're on your own up front and you need a bit of help, so he needs runners around him for sure.
Yeah. Here's Villa again. We can hear the drone of a low-flying aeroplane across Molineux as Watkins picks it up again on this near side. Now then, good run by Matty Cash. He's into the box, low cross, not a particularly good one, and Didonka is able to deal with it, and then he misses his kick with the clearance, but with a header manages to find Semedo. That was a really good opening for Matty Cash. Here's Semedo, though. It's a good run by the Wolves fullback, and he's found Traore. Traore trying to jink past a couple of Villa defenders, does that successfully, and manages to find Podence, who shoots, and it's blocked by Target, and Martinez fields and quickly finds Jack Grealish. Grealish brought down, free kick to Aston Villa on the far side of the field. Grealish takes it quickly towards Watkins, who's in a foot race with Cody at the moment, which Cody has managed to win rather ungainly fashion, but slithered in and managed to dribble the ball out of play under pressure from the former Brentford man. 50 goals for the West London club before moving up to the Premier League, and hasn't disappointed. Got a hat-trick, of course, against Liverpool, 2 more against Arsenal, 6 in his last 7 games, Ollie Watkins. 10 minutes gone second half, and Wolves have a throw. Cody, the captain. Villa have a throw. Cody, the captain, trying to marshal his defence. Here's Target trying to find Grealish. It's intercepted by Podence. It goes out of play. Not sure if that's the plane that's got the banner wishing speedy recovery to Raul Jimenez. You can hear in the background. It's disappeared away at the moment. Here's Ramsey. Gets to the byline, still has it. Jacob Ramsey into Mings, and then a nice touch by McGinn. It doesn't quite work for Wolves, but they might come again here with Cash down the right-hand side. He's been forward more times in the second half than he was in the whole of the first. Matty Cash, once at Forest, he's onto the back of this ball. It's a cross in deep. It might fall for Grealish, who controls it, tries to shoot, no space, still no way forward for Grealish. Tees up Luis, who shoots, and it's a fraction wide. Douglas Luis holds his head. Grealish was patient, waited for support. Luis provided it. Right foot drive, low and hard, but wrong side of the post from Villa's point of view.
More great play from Grealish here. You see how he just holds onto the ball, passes at the right time to Luis, and he's got to hit the target, but a great effort. And Aston Villa are coming into the game.
Yeah, Luis wide with the low effort after cleverly skipping across to his right-hand side. He's only scored one goal in his last 45 games, Douglas Luis, so he's due one. Here come Wolves trying to get forward. Misplaced pass, though, intercepted by Cash, who does well, but then doesn't do well. He was trying to find Bertrand Traore, but in the end he just found touch with a wayward pass that went out of play. Still very hard to tell who's on top, A, and B, who might break the deadlock. The second half possession's very close, 52% in favour of Villa. Wolves are on the ball at the moment. Here's Connor Cody, Liverpool born. It's very much part of the Midlands scene for a while now. Here's Cash getting it forward for Villa towards Watkins. He's very isolated at the moment up front there, Ollie Watkins, as we saw with that burst a moment ago where he had no option other to shoot.
I feel like when Cash gets the ball, though, he should be on that side. As a striker, you know, you have to be on that side of where the ball's at. Like now, Target's got the ball, and Watkins should be on that side.
Yeah, it's not a good ball by Target this time, and Wolves have the ball. It's Fabio Silva finding Adama Traore midway inside the Aston Villa half. He just swirls it away with the outside of his boot into Podence, who controls it well. Podence, well, it was a clever looking ball down the inside left channel, hoping that Fabio Silva could get there, but it was too far in front of the youngster. But it was enterprising. That's the sort of thing somebody's going to need to do, isn't it? Find a pass that can unlock the door.
Yeah, we need a bit of brilliance, don't we? We haven't seen it yet. We're seeing glimpses of Grealish, but we need someone to do it, to get someone out of this game.
Yeah, header away for Wolves by Moutinho. Here's Traore. Traore stays on his feet, coming forward at pace. This could be dangerous for Wolves. It's 4 against 3. And Traore's option to shoot perhaps wasn't the best one. And in the end, his low shot went at a comfortable pace for Martinez to make a pretty straightforward save.
That's the exact thing that you'd want him to do there, Traore, because he's got the quality to take Mings on there. Taking the shot was exactly what Aston Villa wanted.
Hasn't scored yet this season in 12 games. Adama Traore hasn't scored at all since February. Here's Grealish again, coming forward for Villa. Grealish shoots, it spins back off Semedo. Is he going to go out of play for Grealish? Just. It was spinning like a top, the ball there, and Grealish allowed it to go for a corner. Just short of an hour played. Wolves 0, Villa 0. Long-standing rivalry. Villa have now just edged ahead on corners. It's their 6 to Wolves' 5. Nobody's made any of them, really, anything of them so far. But Mings is up. Konsa is up as well. Ramsey is a tall player as well, the youngster. Here comes the corner. It's an outswing alone, not a good one. It's away by Podence. It comes back to Bertrand Traore. He hammers it again. It's not a very good delivery, and it's cleared by Wolves. But again, Villa look to come back, and for a third time, Wolves clear their ranks, and this time it goes out of play on the near side off the head of Daniel Podence. Not great deliveries from Bertrand Traore there, who's had a pretty disappointing game overall.
Yeah, he's not really affecting the game. He's got some little nice touches, but I haven't yet seen him take anyone on and run past someone. I think that you need to see that from your wingers.
Yeah, he scored in the League Cup on his debut against Bristol City back in September, Traore, after arriving from Lyon, but he hasn't managed a goal since, which is worrying for Nuno Espirito Santo, particularly in the absence of Raúl Jiménez. Throw into Wolverhampton Wanderers. Marçal is taking an eternity to get the ball back into play. Finally does, and then hoofs it up into the air. There's still a lot of sunlight above Molineux, so players are having slight problems with a dropping ball. Here's Watkins trying to shield it away. That's good play by Watkins, but he can't get the pass clear, and then Donker intercepts for Wolves, who try and spring a counter. It's an excellent header by Matty Cash, and there was a high boot there, I think, as he did so, and Mike Dean has awarded a free kick to Aston Villa. Ball is on halfway. Mike Dean's being ridiculously fussy, isn't he? He's pushing the ball back by a yard or two. It's inside Villa's half. I mean, if it was just around the penalty area, you'd understand, really. They were trying to take it quickly, and very officious refereeing. Here's Esri Konsa coming forward for Villa. He's got a couple of goals for them this season from centre-half, which is useful. Most of the burden, of course, in goal-scoring terms has come from Watkins and Grealish, and the only other two players who've managed to get more than one goal this season for Wolves are the two centre-halves.
I mean, I think you need to even the goals out sometimes.
Yeah.
Can McGinn, can Moutinho get a goal, not just rely on the strikers?
Yeah. Certainly could do with a few more goals from midfield. Here's Nelson Semedo for Wolves. Finding Neto drifting infield from the flank, and still and shooting. Well, that would have been some goal if that had gone in, because he came all the way from the byline on his left foot, hit a decent strike. Martinez didn't know where it was going. It just flew past his post, and that was almost a spectacular goal, and the bit of magic we might have wanted from the 20-year-old.
Yeah, great effort, but you need to look at Douglas Luiz there. You need more from him. He's a defensive midfielder. He's got to be coming across and stopping him shooting on his left foot there. I feel like Douglas Luiz can be very good when he's on the ball, but when he's getting the ball back and defending, I need more from him.
Yep, he was allowed to move a long way, wasn't he, Pedro Neto? 3 goals for him this season for his club. He also scored on his Portuguese debut in a thrashing of Andorra recently. So he's catching up with Cristiano Ronaldo in the Portuguese goal-scoring stakes. He's a long way behind, though, obviously. Here's cross in from the right-hand side by Traore, and the whistle has blown. What's happening here? Oh, he's given a free kick, Mike Dean. Presumably there was an infringement before that.
But you could hear Jack then on the speaker saying it's a yellow. It is a yellow. How's that not a yellow card? You see the replay. It's a high foot on the Cash from the full-back. It's a yellow card. No consistency from Mike Dean.
Was it Traore who did it? I think it might have been. I
think it was the left-back. Yeah.
It's a good job it wasn't Traore, because he's already on a booking now. Then you can hear Rui Patricio organising a defensive wall in front of him, because Aston Villa have a free kick in a decent looking position just to the right of centre. It's a good way out. It'll be a cross rather than a shot, I suspect, although Grealish inevitably is standing over it. So too is Traore. It's going to be Grealish, I'm sure, and he's gone for goal. It's not that far away, a couple of inches over the angle of post and bar, and He almost caught the keeper out there. I think he had it covered, to be fair. Worth a go.
Yeah, worth a go. I think you want to try something different there, and you've seen other players this season score from them sort of positions when the keeper's not expecting it. So unlucky from Jack Grealish there, but I just want to see more from Watkins. I want to see him receive the ball and try and knock it past Cody and beat it for pace. We haven't really seen that all game, and he's capable of doing it. We've seen him do it in the Premier League so far this season.
Still 0-0, 20 minutes into the second half on a lovely crisp winter day in Wolverhampton. There are blue patches of sky and white clouds above the stadium as Villa come forward. And there's the shot, and it's another good save, this time by Rui Patricio to deny Ollie Watkins what might have been another goal. He cut in onto his right foot, hit it hard, and the keeper down to his right pushed it away for a corner.
Yeah, that's good play from Watkins. He's trying to find space, coming over to the left a bit, and great effort on goal there. Could have easily deflected in.
Yes, took a deflection, making it harder for the keeper.
Great save as well.
Yeah, very good save. Very good save. Had to adjust his position. Corner kick to Aston Villa. Traore again, better one this time. Grealish gets a touch, comes off Moutinho. Up goes Mings. Header can't find a teammate, and it's sliced away by Wolverhampton Wanderers. Both teams in this game have had little patches where they've been on top. It's Villa's turn to ask a few questions. Here comes the throw. Moutinho being held by young Ramsey, just 19 years old. Previous appearances this season have come in the League Cup for Wolves. Well, they've had a pretty level amount of attempts. We've had 21 goal attempts, 10 Wolves, 11 Villa. Wolves have managed 3 on target to Villa's 1. As the ball is played down the line and intercepted for Villa by Target. It's not as if there haven't been chances as we approach the final quarter of this game. It's a nice close-up on our monitors of the mural depicting Raúl Jiménez, and also behind him is a figure wearing one of those Mexican wrestling masks that he dons when he scores, or used to. Here's Pedro Neto, swap flanks. He's on the left at the moment as Wolves attack, finding Marçal under pressure from Bertrand Traore. Wolves get it across to skipper Connor Cody, who drives it long with his right foot out towards Adama Traore. Good climb though above him to get the ball away by Matt Target. Still the deadlock remains. The more it stays like this, the more you fancy a single goal might be enough. Here's Adama Traore down the line. It's crossed by Podence towards Fabio Silva. Header away by Consa for Villa. It drops for McGinn. And finally it's hoofed up to halfway by Target. Wolves pick it up again, but then almost getting a mess between Cody and Semedo. The ball in the end, though, is manoeuvred back to Rui Patricio, who's that save really a moment ago from the shot by Watkins, the only real testing moment he's had in the game. Here's Semedo for Wolves. Now then, chance to get forward. It's Podence into Fabio Silva. Hits the post, and the follow-up is blocked. Wolves desperately unlucky there. The youngster almost finding the goal they needed, but here's Traore, clever skill on the edge of the Villa penalty area. Back it comes to Marçal. Well, Villa haven't been thwarted by the woodwork. Look for another chance. Neto's gone down holding his face. My goodness me, Gabby, that was an excellent strike by Fabio Silva, and on another day it'd be 1-0.
It's a great bit of play from Podence. You know, I think he was looking for the cutback, Podence, but great play, and Fabio Silva, great strike here. And Villa are very fortunate to still be at 0-0.
Yeah, the keeper was well beaten, and I mean, it's one of those ones at an inch further in and it would probably hit the post and gone in. Instead it hit the foot of the post and came out.
great bit of play. But like, Podence has been a real threat. Douglas Luiz can't get anywhere near him.
Here's Marçal. Wolves on a high at the moment, having sustained a bit of pressure. They're coming forward. Podence again showing some good trickery. Connor Cody with the cross in. It's headed away by Aston Villa. Back in from Wolves, but not greatly accurate. They have to start again with Marçal, who finds Moutinho. Here is Pedro Neto, looking to get a cross in, but having to get past Grealish. Nice one too. Neto with the cross for Wolves. He's overhit it. It'll be kept in far side though by Podence. Real pressure here from Wolverhampton Wanderers. Podence with a lovely turn. There's the cross. Only half cleared. And the header from Roman Saiz is held by Emi Martinez. Well, 20 minutes to go. Wolves have upped the ante here.
Yeah, Podence has been a menace to Aston Villa. He's trickery, low centre of gravity. None of the Aston Villa defence can get anywhere near him. It might be something that you have to double up on him now because he's getting too much joy. I feel like it might be the time for some changes for Aston Villa as well. I mean, you've got Horahan, El Ghazi on the bench, you know. Maybe it's time to bring some of them on.
Here's Grealish at the other end. Villa having weathered a storm. Well, the ball is with Watkins, can't get it under his control, and it's knocked away by Semedo. And then Traore with his hand, I thought, and Mike Dean too, leads to a Villa free kick, which is taken quickly. In it comes again for Villa. Now then, Traore's gone sprawling down under pressure here. He wants a penalty kick, so does Dean Smith. Both of them have their hands outstretched. Now, what is Mike Dean doing here? Was there an offside? Yeah, there's an offside in the build-up to that, so he was offside, So that's a correct decision. I'm not sure.
I think as well, he wouldn't have got to the ball anyway, so I don't think they would have given a penalty.
I don't think it is a penalty. I mean,
he wouldn't have got near the ball anyway from the cross. So
no, it's Connor Cody putting his arm across as he will. Don't blame them for appealing. Again, it could be, it's the sort of game now, Gabby, isn't it, where, a penalty might win it for either side. And
I think as well, like I said, this is the time where maybe a substitution wins the game. It's 70 minutes and no one's made a change. I feel like
neither manager has.
Jacob Ramsey's done well today, but maybe it's time to bring on Horahan. Change it. He's a young lad, first Premier League start.
He's done all right, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Quite pleased with him, I'd imagine, are you? Did okay?
Definitely.
Here's Neto in centre midfield for Wolverhampton Wanderers. Out it comes to Adama Traore on the right-hand side, looking to menace again for Wolves. He's into the penalty area. He plays a square ball, intercepted by Douglas Luiz. But it's come out. There's a long shot, which hits the turf hard from Nelson Semedo and ends up in the gloves of Emi Martinez. That would have been quite something had Semedo scored. He doesn't get too many
bodies there, but no one's going towards the ball. They're not learning their lesson from previous games over the last couple of seasons where you've got to press the ball because these players can shoot from far and hit the net.
Semedo's only ever scored 2 goals in his professional career. Tested Martinez there. Here's Grealish getting it forward for Villa. Cody thumps it back over his head. Villa find McGinn, and Targett keeps the ball in on the far side and rolls it down the line towards Watkins under pressure from Cody. And the ball goes out of play. It's going to be an Aston Villa throw-in. 17 minutes to go. Still no break of the deadlock in this local derby. Don't forget, we've got Newcastle West Brom coming up in a moment, followed by the Manchester derby at Old Trafford. Here it's getting towards the twilight of the game, and neither side yet able to get a goal which might seal the points. Here's Pedro Neto for Wolverhampton Wanderers. Villa have only drawn 1 game this season. Probably be reasonably happy with a point from an away game at local rivals. Is that how you see it, Gabby?
Yeah, I think so, but you still want to try and win the game. I mean, Aston Villa have got the quality to win this, and we're talking about changes. It looks like El Ghazi will come on, I'm sure, for Traore, because he's been very, very poor for Aston Villa today, Traore.
Yeah, I agree.
He doesn't really offer much when you watch him.
No, his set-piece deliveries have been poor as well.
But I haven't seen him in an Aston Villa shirt take someone on, commit a defender, run past the defender. It's all pretty safe and I'm sure he'll be the one that gets brought off.
Well, we'll find out in just a moment, and the substitution is going to be made, and El Ghazi comes on, and you're absolutely right. It is Traore who makes way. So can Anwar El Ghazi, the Moroccan, or Dutchman with Moroccan descent, come on? He's a Dutch international. He's got one goal this season, albeit in the League Cup. Here comes the free kick. Good header away by Semedo for Wolves, and another mistimed clearance. Mings does well to find McGinn, who gets it into the box, but Al Ghazi's hopes of getting an early touch to create something are thwarted as the ball bounces away from him. 15 minutes left at Molineux. They drew 1-1 in the first league meeting in 1888. Queen Victoria was on the throne at the time. They could draw again here 129 games later. Ball is flicked out, but inaccurately by Wolves, literally flicked out of play.
I think before kick-off, you'd never say this would be 0-0. No. I mean, the lineups that we're giving in, you know, you'd think there'll be goals galore, but it's been quite a frustrating game, hasn't it? Very poor.
It has. There haven't been that many 0-0s in the Premier League for this season, a season where there have been goals aplenty generally. Villa themselves involved in a 9-goal match in that extraordinary victory against Liverpool, the champions, who you can see tomorrow in action at Fulham. I'll be at that game with Dave Kitson. Here's Grealish. I say handball, I thought it was handball, it's not given. And the ball, well, has it finally been given? I think it has. Certainly looked like a hand by Jack Grealish, and Mike Dean has given Wolves a free kick. Other games tomorrow: Southampton, Sheffield United, Crystal Palace against the current leaders Tottenham, Arsenal struggling against Burnley, who are struggling even worse, and Leicester City against Brighton and Hove Albion. Got all those games covered for you on the Premier League Sunday. Here we're waiting for somebody or something to possibly produce what would be a winning goal. Terrible clearance by Rui Patricio. It's gone straight out of play from the Portuguese goalkeeper. Euro 2016 winner, of course, in that dramatic win against France in France. Here's Luis for Villa, just coming across centre midfield and scooping the ball towards Mati Cash, who tries to control it on the run but has to go back in the end under pressure from Neto, who's fouled him. It's going to be a free kick to Villa right by the touchline in front of the two coaches. Villa are about to make a change, but I think they're going to get the free kick taken first. It's Douglas Luiz who will look to launch it in again. The big men have gone forward for Aston Villa, notably Mings and Konsa, both of whom have scored this season. Terrible free kick by Luiz, and it not only didn't find anyone in a claret shirt, it's put them under pressure at the other end. Here's Silva. The ball is played towards Neto. Neto with a first-time cross. It's only half cleared by Target. He got lucky. Could have gone anywhere, and in the end it dropped at the feet of a teammate. Suddenly Ollie Watkins is on the counter, but he's completely on his own. He's got El Ghazi in the box. Here's Ollie Watkins with a second chance. Still has it. Tees up Grealish just inside the area. Flicks it towards El Ghazi. It's cleared by Wolves, and the attempts by Luis to get it back into the box are thwarted, and that's a very, very clever play by Podence, who's been excellent for Wolves today. He's been the most dangerous looking player on the pitch.
If you go back to that incident there when Cody in the box, he goes down and he sticks a foot out. If Watkins was a bit clever, he could have went over because it was sloppy defending from Cody, but Watkins was fair and stayed on his feet.
Yep. Here's Podence for Wolves on the counter, but Villa have got everyone back now. Moutinho with a clever ball out to Neto on this near side, looking to attack the penalty area. It's Pedro Neto spinning and turning, and no room to get across him yet. Might do now with the Rabona, and there's the volley. Connolly, and that's a fantastic save from Martinez. It was struck brilliantly at him. I'm not sure who got the shot in it.
It's a great save, but you're looking at the replay here, and Aston Villa are static in the box defending, and he's had two similar opportunities now, Dendoncker. I feel like you'll be very angry that he's not taken that, and he's been taken off.
Yeah, it was hit firmly, but it was probably too close to the keeper. Nonetheless, he hit it very, very hard.
Great save,
and it was a fantastic save by a goalkeeper who's made the majority of the saves in this game. We're into the last 10 minutes of the encounter. It's a dangerous looking pass back by Wolves, but they got away with it because Cody was just up there in front of Watkins. Here's Marçal. Now Wolves come forward once again. Ruben Neves, incidentally, on as a substitute. Wolves. Here's Adama Traore trying to go through the middle, and he's brought down in a sandwich. And is it Mings or Target who's been booked? I'm not sure. It was a sort of sandwich between the two of them. Take your pick. Probably. Not sure who actually fouled him in the end. I think it was Target.
Yeah, it looks like a foul, doesn't it?
And, yet another yellow card for Wolves, who've had 4 players cautioned now. More seriously, perhaps, they have a free kick to defend, with Wolves looking to grab a late winner here. It's a long way from goal. You wouldn't expect a shot on goal from here. Coutinho seems to be shaking his head. He's talking to Pedro Neto. Takes something special to beat Martinez from this distance, because not least because Martinez has been such cracking form today. He's made a number of very important saves for Aston Villa. Well, this could be a big moment in the game with only 8.5 minutes to go. There's a 3-man Aston Villa wall. Emiliano Martinez spits on his gloves and awaits the delivery here. Coutinho plays it out wide to Traore. Traore with a clip ball. There's the header from Potence, and then an overhead kick by Fabio Silva. Not much pace on it. It was acrobatic but not very forceful, and Martinez made a simple save.
No, good effort though. That's a really hard technique there for Fabio Silva, and Martinez, I really like the way he's always in the right position.
Yeah, he's been excellent, Martinez. Now then, the game has stopped for a foul by John Coutinho on Grealish. He's been booked this time, so that's we're up to 6 bookings now, 2 for Wolves and 4 for Villa. Coutinho, who's 35 years of age, knew exactly what he was doing there. And down went Grealish, not for the first time this season. And Villa have a free kick. It's wide on the left-hand side. Long way from goal. Target is standing over the ball as again Mings and Konsa trot forward for Aston Villa in the hope of getting on the end of this delivery. 7 minutes left at Molineux. In a game where both teams have had chances but neither have scored. In it comes, away by Semedo. It'll come out to Ramsey. Now it's Luis, back to Jacob Ramsey. No way forward for him at the moment, or is there? He's done well to get past his man. He's won a throw off Coutinho, and the throw is only 10 yards from the corner flag on the right-hand side as Villa attack Rui Patricio's goal. Konsa has stayed up from his position that he took from the free kick, hoping that something may accrue here. Ghazi is tackled by Coutinho, and it's a throw-in even closer to the corner flag now, which will be taken by Matty Cash. Here's Luis. Wolves managed to get the ball away. Luis toe pokes it. It's a free kick. Onyeka Anthony says, I look at Potence and remember Hazard at Chelsea. No difference, quality player.
He's giving him a yellow card.
It is. Well, off goes Douglas Luiz. It's a second yellow for the Aston Villa midfield player. So they will have to play the last 6 minutes with 10 men. It also means that Luis will also miss the game against Burnley at Villa Park in midweek. Well, he jumped with his elbow up. We've got another view of it. He's definitely led with his elbow there. I don't think he complained about that, Gabby. I mean, you've said, and rightly so, that some of the bookings have been a little bit soft, but that one wasn't, and off he goes.
Yeah, it was with his elbow, but I don't think he's looking to hurt anyone there. You know, I think he's just gone to jump for the ball and unfortunately caught with his elbow.
And when you're on a yellow, it's not a clever thing to do, is it? Here's Traore now. He's been pulled. Oh, has he? No, he hasn't. For the moment, he'd be pulled back. 5 minutes to go at Molineux. Still 0-0 between Wolves and Villa. Wolves now sensing with the numerical advantage in terms of personnel that they might be able to push on and get a winner here. This is Neto on the near side, finding Marçal. And now the substitute Neves. That's a good crossfield ball. It's found Adama Traore on the right-hand side. He's got, as you were saying, 2 men on him. Just stabs it forward and finds Semedo. Semedo back to Traore. Villa's 10 men are making the shape decent at the moment. That's a clever flick over the top, though, to Semedo, who tries to cross, and excellent defending by Matt Target, who threw himself at the ball before the cross got anywhere and cannoned it away for a throw-in on the opposite side.
Great defending, but this is where you see what sort of team you are. Can you build now and just try and nick a draw out of this game, because Wolves are going to put everything on Aston Villa now in the last 5 minutes.
Wolves throw, Semedo to Moutinho. Nice little back heel flick by him for Podence. Podence under pressure from Ramsey, has to go back. Here's Joao Moutinho. Now Ruben Neves. Good ball by him, finds Neto. Neto trying to drift in from the left-hand side. It's all Wolves at the moment. Podence again. He's the most likely person to conjure up something special. This is Moutinho. He's got Traore further out wide. This is Adama Traore. Edge of the penalty area. Gets the cross in. Half cleared by Concert, and then a scuffed clearance by Ramsey, but helped on its way by McGinn up towards the centre circle, where the header is won by Roman Saiz. And here's Connor Cody. Wolves pushing and pressing with the time that remains. Not a huge amount of it, just 3 minutes. And Villa have conceded another free kick for a foul on Podence.
I see Grealish there. I think if this is on him, he wouldn't like it. It's definitely a foul.
Oh yeah, no question. It's gone through Podence, who of the two probably most gifted players on either side has been the better player than Grealish. I would say he's caused more problems to Villa than Grealish has to Wolves. Grealish will be keen that nothing accrues here. It's a free kick to Wolves. It's a clever one. It's a little bit too clever by Moutinho. It's read by Podence. He chipped it over the top, but Martinez, who's been excellent all afternoon, read it very well and came out and claimed.
I'm surprised D. Smith hasn't made a sub just to kill a bit more time, you know, bring on maybe Nakamba, a bit more defensive minded midfielder for Ramsey, but he's seen it out, it looks like, with these players. Hopefully they can hold on.
It's header away by Connor Cody. It drops for Jack Grealish. Keith's Life says that's Rich Grealish telling someone to get up. Listening from South Beach this morning. The sun is shining bright. I'm guessing that must be in Australia, unless I'm wrong. There's a picture of a skateboard on the beach. That sounds like a nice way to spend your Saturday. Glad you're listening to us as well. Grealish with the ball forward. Here's Watkins. Less than 3 minutes remain at Molineux. Wolves concede a free kick this time, and a chance for Villa perhaps to grab something. Grealish is standing over the ball. He's going to leave it for target, I think. We're in the final minute of the 90. Can the 10 men get another away win? They've won 3 of their 4 so far in the Premier League. Villa been excellent on the road. Target will deliver, left-footed, looking for Konsa, but it doesn't find him. It's headed away for Wolves, but picked up again. And Ramsey plays a brilliant ball into the box. Grealish can't get there, and it's headed away by Semedo. Super cross by the youngster, and another Villa corner.
Great ball there from Jacob Ramsey, perfect. Great defending as well from Semedo, because Grealish was in there to win the game.
Yeah, it would have been a simple header for Grealish had Semedo not been there. Still got much to do. We've got 5 minutes to be added on. We had quite a lengthy stoppage for a nosebleed to Conor Cody, so that's why. Now then, Villa have a corner. It's an in-swinger from the left-hand side. Up goes Konsa. It's hit by Ramsey. It's cleared by Semedo. Back in it comes from McGinn. Wolves repel it on this occasion. Tyrone Mings does well to hold off his man, and then he's pulled back, and Villa will have a free kick. Is there to be late drama here? And again we've got players coming together. This time it's Adama having a bit of a row with Ezri Konsa, and Neto has weighed in as well. The referee.
Some more handbags.
Yeah, I know you're not a fan of Mike Dean, but I actually quite like the fact that he's literally just standing there saying, right, do whatever it is you're going to do, push each other backwards and forwards, and now we can get on with the game. Which I think is that's good referee.
Yeah, it's hilarious to watch a lot of them handbags. I've been there, you know. No one's going to do a thing.
No.
It's sometimes
it's frustrating. I can see why it happens, yeah. Anyway, we're into stoppage time. Aston Villa have a free kick 5 yards inside the Wolves half, in a position just to the right of centre. Matty Cash, the fullback, is standing over the ball.
He's got to be careful, Cash here. He's on a booking. He's easily booking for time wasting.
Yeah, true. Although that booking already suspends him from the next game. The free kick finds Watkins. Watkins is dispossessed in the penalty area. It's only half cleared. Here's Ramsey out to Jack Grealish. Left-hand side for Aston Villa. Can he produce some magic for the visitors? But he's found McGinn. McGinn trying to nutmeg his man. He's got into the penalty area and gone down. Penalty kick says 15 to Aston Villa in the 92nd minute. It looked to me as if that was a decent decision. Semedo went through on his man McGinn. We'll have another look at it, but Mike Dean didn't seem to have too many qualms about pointing to the spot.
It's that low centre of gravity from McGinn. It's definitely a penalty. It's that low centre of gravity that he's got, and Semedo's been caught out there. If you look on the replay, we can see, it's an accidental penalty from Semedo, but it's definitely a penalty. It'll be interesting to see who takes it now.
Yes, it will.
Watkins missed his last penalty.
Yep, late drama. But it looks as if it's going to be El Ghazi.
Oh, God.
There's a vote of confidence from Gabby Agbonlahor. Well, it's...
please, El Ghazi.
It's now or never for Aston Villa. They've been so good on the road this season, and with 10 men, they have a penalty kick in the 93rd minute. Only Rui Patricio can save Wolves now. It's Anwar El Ghazi with a chance to win it for Villa at the death. Taking a deep breath as he steps up and scores. Aston Villa have won it in the depths of the derby. Penalty kick dispatched beautifully by the substitute. Keeper went the wrong way. Villa are delirious. The 10 men are going to take the 3 points. It's Wolves 0, Aston Villa 1.
It's a great penalty. I didn't back him before, but great penalty from El Ghazi. Great courage to take it with recent penalties being missed, but it's a great goal for Aston Villa. Well, you can see the like despair in the Wolves' faces because they've been on top this second half.
Great pen, you'd have to say. No question. He didn't certainly share your nervousness, did he, Cabby? Stroked it beautifully into the corners. His first Premier League goal since January. That came in a 6-1 defeat by Manchester City, nothing more than a consolation. This one means a whole lot more. We're into the last minute of stoppage time, and Villa look as if they've propelled themselves up the table. It's much needed. It'll be only their second win in 6 games. But once again, I know it's not a long away trip, this one, just 12 miles as the crow flies, but their away form is stupendous. We're going to get another yellow card from Mike Dean here.
I think it's a red card. Yeah.
Wolves player, and it's going to be a second yellow again.
Yeah, second
and,
yellow.
It's Joao Moutinho who's gone this time, so it's going to end 10 aside. So most of the drama in this encounter has been compacted into the last 5 minutes or so. As Moutinho steps away, he won't be playing against Chelsea in Wolves' next game.
Oh, it's a harsh one, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. There's not very much contact. Yeah, it's mistimed. Certainly not malicious. Some referees might not have given it, but he was on a yellow, and it became, I said at half-time, didn't I, Gabby, that we could get a sending off or two. Well, we have had 2. So it's 10 aside, but we've only got mere seconds left now, although Wolves will hope some time is added on. A long celebration by Wolves after the goal, understandably. Here's Grealish. He's going for the corner flag. He's the sort of player who's very good at keeping it there. He says it came off a Wolves player, but Wolves have got the throw. It's all down to now whether Mike Dean is going to add on enough time for Wolverhampton Wanderers to have one last go at rescuing a point. That's a good challenge by Mings, who caught it on the knee as he cleared away, and Nuno Espirito Santo turns away looking rather distraught. Marvelous Nakamba is going to come on for the last few seconds for Villa. This is just a delaying tactic. You can hear someone talking about an extra minute, 6 minutes. Jacob Ramsey, well done to him on his debut, comes off.
He's grown into the game, hasn't he,
He's
Ramsey?
done well. He's Villa through and through, like you are. Local boy. He's been at the club since he was 6 years old, and at the age of 19, he's now made a Premier League appearance. Clearance by Rui Patricio. Will there be enough time for Wolves? Header on by Saiz, but cleared by Nakamba, who does get a touch, and it's the last touch of the game, and Aston Villa have won on the road again. Super win for them in a game where everything happened in the latter stages. It was a penalty coolly taken by Anwar El Ghazi, which won it after Douglas Luiz had been sent off for Aston Villa. Following the goal, then Wolves went down to 10 men with Joao Moutinho also yellow carded. Villa celebrate in the middle. They've won this game by 1-0 late on. You're listening to Premier League Live.